Father, did you study at Wardha?
Yeah, I studied at Varda.
Oh, I just checked for your name and I was very happy to hear that you were there because I keep going to Wardha quite often
Oh, that's nice.
to the school, the
Oh,
Sevagram school.
school. Okay.
Okay, so I
When shall
have,
we?
Kadir, I've made it live on YouTube and Facebook. I
Okay.
hope people would be able to see the live streaming,
Let me check.
and maybe in a minute or so we can start. Great.
Richa, is
Yeah,
anybody going to use PPT?
we can check. I haven't received any PPTs. Uh,
Okay.
Not from my side.
Okay.
okay,
Not
okay.
from me also.
Yeah.
Not I.
Fine.
And in terms of the panel discussion, I have one request to those who, the speakers, those who can speak in Hindi, maybe they can try to be a little bilingual. Uh,
Okay.
Anita ji, aap, Sundar,
Yeah.
and maybe Savitri and Priyadash, whoever. Yeah. तो थोड़ा
Sure.
दोनों जबानों में it'll be good.
Yeah.
शुक्रिया.
So, Kadir, you're starting with the short presentations and then discussion.
No, first there will be Richa ji will be talking about Dr. Amit Sengupta and
Yeah.
relevance of this webinar on this day. Then
Yes.
there will be a song. Then she will hand over it to me. After that, we will start.
Okay.
Isha, I guess you can start now.
I think let's start without much delay. So, friends, on behalf of Jan Swasth Abhiyan, All India People Science Network, and also Medico Friends Circle, I welcome you. My name is Richa, so every year JSA and AIPSN commemorate this day, 5th of July, in memory of Dr. Amit Sen Gupta. हर साल JSA और AIPSN इसको ऑर्गेनाइज करता है अमित सेन गुप्ता की याद में. 2018 जब से उन्होंने हमें छोड़ा, तब से हम ये 8वां अमित सेन गुप्ता मेमोरियल है. हालांकि हम साल में 2 बार भी ऑर्गेनाइज हिज कंट्रीब्यूशन, ऑर्गेनाइज मेमोरियल्स discussing issues which are close to his heart in his memory. Dr. Amit Sengupta, most of us know, he was a doctor, he was an activist, he was a scholar, and he was a leader. And for many of us who are here, he was a guiding force also. Uh, mm, Amit was a trained doctor. He did it from Maulana Azad Medical College, and his contributions have been far ranging. And along with many of his colleagues, some of whom are here with us today, present here and working all along. Amit worked during the 80s on the Bhopal gas tragedy. Then during the 90s, it was the People's Tribunal, which was set up to resist the move of altering the Indian Patent Acts to include product patents. And then more recently, in the 2000s and all, so he was again engaging with the intellectual issues of intellectual property rights related to biologics. So he has contributed in that way a lot, and he was an integral part of Delhi Science Forum, and he was among the founding members of People's Health Movement and Jan Swasthya Abhiyan. We salute Amit for his long-lasting contributions, and we are also glad that today we have with us his family also, who've joined us. Tripta is here, Alka is here, Tanushri is here, and I think Arijit would be joining. So thanks for joining and encouraging us. With this, I think हम लोग एक AIPSN और BGVS के साथियों ने they have prepared a song on health rights, and it is dedicated to Dr. Amit Sengupta. मैं इंद्रनील से रिक्वेस्ट करूँगी कि इंद्रनील आप अगर आप वहाँ के साथी जहाँ आप हैं शायद उनको वीडियो पे लाएंगे.
दिख रहा है क्या हम लोग?
हाँ, मैं ये शेयर स्टॉप कर देती हूँ.
दिख रहा है क्या? हम लोगों का सुनाई दे रहा है?
जी जी जी,
हाँ
सुनाई दे
हाँ
रहा है.
दिख रहा है.
जिंदाबाद साथियों जी, प्लीज.
वर्कशॉप की गई जिसमें हम लोग कुछ गीत नाटक स्वास्थ्य के निजीकरण के ऊपर आधारित हमने कुछ बनाया, जो भारत के 6 राज्यों के कलाकार साथियों के साथ मिलकर हमने कुछ गीत और नाटक तैयार किए, जिसमें से एक गीत हम आज अमित सेन जी के डॉक्टर अमित सेन जी को समर्पित करते हैं, जो हम सब लोगों ने मिलकर खास तौर पे स्वास्थ्य निजीकरण के ऊपर आधारित तैयार किया. जो गीत तैयार है
इंद्रनील, अब बिल्कुल आवाज़ नहीं आ रही है। तो मेरे ख्याल से आप मोबाइल डेटा पे हैं, इसलिए नहीं सुनाई दे रहा।
लगेगा तो हम न कहेंगे, तुम न
हाँ।
कहोगे, और लगेगा तो दिल न सितम को कब तक कहेंगे, कैसे रहेंगे मोर, हम न कहेंगे, तुम न कहोगे, और लगेगा तो अब तक रहेंगे, कैसे रहेंगे मोर, हम न कहेंगे और कहेगा तो कब तक रहेंगे, कैसे रहेंगे ओ,
साथियों,
रात बजट आता है, कहाँ वो जाता है, आम आदमी गम सहने का कष्ट उठाता है, कष्ट उठाता है, इतना साथ बजट आता है, कहाँ वो जाता है, आम आदमी गम सहने का कष्ट उठाता है, अपनी बात कहेगा, हमें सुनेगा तो हम न कहेंगे, तुम न कहोगे, और रहेगा तो हम न कहेंगे, तुम न कहोगे, और रहेगा तो जुल्म सितम को कब तक सहेंगे कैसे रहेंगे वो ओ, साथ में मालिक पोषण कितने मछली है जहाँ भी देखो भ्रष्टाचारी लूट गिराते हैं महिला साथ में मालिक पोषण जहाँ भी देखो भ्रष्टाचारी इन पर लोग शोषण करता कहाँ पे बैठा दो हम न कहेंगे तुम न कहोगे और कहेगा तो हम न कहेंगे तुम न कहोगे और कहेगा तो जुल्म सितम कब तक रहेंगे कैसे रहेंगे ओ, हैया आओ बेटा हम सब चलते हैं अब ये गाँव के मिलकर हम तकदीर बदलते हैं तस्वीर बदलते हैं आओ बेटा आओ हैया हम सब चलते हैं अपने गाँव के मिलकर हम तकदीर बदलते हैं पंजाब दिखाती अब न रहेंगी मौत हम न कहेंगे तुम न कहोगे और कहेगा कौन हम न कहेंगे तुम न कहोगे और कहेगा कौन जुल्म सितम कब तक रहेंगे कैसे रहेंगे वो हम न कहेंगे तुम न कहोगे और कहेगा कौन जुल्म सितम कब तक रहेंगे कैसे रहेंगे वो हम न कहेंगे तुम न कहोगे और कहेगा कौन जुल्म सितम कब तक रहेंगे कैसे रहेंगे वो कैसे रहेंगे माँ कैसे रहेंगे माँ कैसे रहेंगे
शुक्रिया शुक्रिया साथियों, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। आपकी इस कवायद से एक नया गाना बना एंड थैंक्स फॉर डेडिकेटिंग इट टू डॉक्टर अमित सेन गुप्ता। तो इस जोशीले गाने के साथ, और मुझे यकीन है कि ये गाना हम अपने मूवमेंट्स में आगे और इस्तेमाल करते आएंगे। वील यूज़ दीज काइंड ऑफ सॉन्ग्स एंड कल्चरल थिंग्स इन आवर मूवमेंट। इसके आगे आई थिंक अब हम पैनल डिस्कशन की तरफ बढ़ते हैं। वी हैव एन एस्टीम्ड पैनल who will be discussing this issue from various facets. The topic is the need not. And I'll first would like to invite our moderator, Dr. Mohammed Kader Miran, and he's a fellow JSA colleague, and Kader has studied, as we were discussing earlier, at MGIMS Sevagram. He's a practicing doctor, and he has also authored a book called Patients' Rights in India. So Kader, over to you.
Thank you, Richa. Good evening, everyone. I welcome all of you to this panel discussion organized by JSA. The topic is need not. I think this is the first time one consensus is built at a national level platform to talk about NEET and its impact on medical education. I am actually from Tamil Nadu, and Tamil Nadu state government and people are continuously talking against NEET since its implementation before a decade. So before starting this panel discussion, I would like to give a brief overview of this NEET and how it was brought forward. NEET was first time proposed as a national level examination separately for undergraduate medical courses and a separate examination for postgraduate medical courses through two different gazette notifications published by Medical Council of India in the year 2012. So subsequently, in the year 2013, NEET UG was conducted and All India Postgraduate Medical Entrance Examination was renamed as NEET PG and it was conducted in that year. However, the same year, 2013, Supreme Court has struck down those two gazette notifications published by Medical Council of India. The basis for that order given by then Chief Justice Justice Altamas Kabir and two other judges was, as per Indian Medical Council Act 1956, Medical Council of India was not having any powers to conduct such national level entrance examination. So subsequently, from the year 2014, NEET was not conducted. State governments were conducting their own separate entrance examination. Tamil Nadu as a state which was following admissions based on 12th board exam marks was continued to do it. And in the year 2016, when Supreme Court has opened up a review of its previous judgment, central government has brought a amendment in the Indian Medical Council Act 2016. A new section 10D was brought in the Indian Medical Council Act 1956. It has given powers to the Indian Medical Council of India to conduct national level entrance test. Subsequently, because the Medical Council was given powers through parliamentary amendment, all the pending Supreme Court cases, including the one filed by CMC Vellore and many other state governments, were dismissed because already power was given to Medical Council of India. Later on, due to rampant corruption in Medical Council of India, National Medical Commission was brought forward. In the National Medical Commission bill, when it was being drafted, Niti Aayog has invited suggestions regarding medical education, including the aspects of NEET from the stakeholders. I remember one RTI reply from Niti Aayog, which I accessed directly, states that among the comments received from all the stakeholders, public, majority of the comments were against NEET. This is a document given by Niti Aayog. Later on, without considering all these aspects and public opinion, in the year 2019, National Medical Commission Act was brought, and subsequently Medical Council of India was replaced by National Medical Commission in the year 2020, September 25th. Since then, NEET National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test is serving as single window entrance test for all undergraduate medical courses, postgraduate medical courses, and super specialty medical courses. So NEET was suggested as a solution to many of the problems that were existing in India's medical education. But surprisingly, it has failed to solve all the problems. And also it has, the NEET, because of its implementation, has opened up new avenues, a different set of problems which we are currently struggling to address. So with this context, I think it is appropriate to begin this webinar. First, I would like to invite Dr. Anand Zakaria, who is the professor and unit head of Department of Medicine and in CMC Vellore. He, apart from being a doctor, he is a author, and he is a researcher who always does advocacy for improving quality of medical education. And Dr. Anand Zakaria was Dr. Anand Zakaria's findings are also present in the 92nd report of Parliamentary Standing Committee on Health and Family Welfare, based on which a National Medical Commission bill was brought forward, and subsequently it became act. So, Dr. Anand Zakaria will be talking on the aspect beyond the MCQ, long-term consequences of NEET on medical education and healthcare competence. I invite Dr. Anand Zakaria to formally take over and start his presentation. Thank you.
Am I audible, Myran?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. So my presentation will focus on the impact of NEET on medical education and healthcare. So I'll begin with a story, a student story from our college, which is on a set of interviews that we conducted to find out the problems that students face when they enter medical college. So this is a story of a first generation medical student from a minority community who joined our college. He studied in a government school, and it was only in class 12 when a teacher casually said, "Why don't you try for MBBS?" That the possibility entered his mind. With very limited guidance, he prepared for NEET through coaching, and when he entered medical college, he carried the weight of being the first doctor in his family, anxieties about English and communication, uncertainty about fitting in, and the challenging of navigating an unfamiliar academic environment. In his first month, he wondered if he had made a mistake. He struggled to follow lectures, hesitated to speak, and felt overwhelmed by the shift from solving MCQs to reading entire chapters and analyzing clinical problems. This student's experience is not unique. Many students today enter medical college after intense NEET coaching for a year or more, often tired and mentally drained. By the time they begin to engage meaningfully with the course, a significant part of the academic year has already passed and they are left behind. Across our interviews, students describe struggling with this academic transition. After preparing primarily for MCQs, they find it difficult to learn concepts and understand their application, and many turn to coaching platforms such as Marrow, relying on concise notes and video-based learning rather than standard textbooks. So in my presentation, I will deal with three questions. The first of which is, how is NEET reshaping medical education? What we are seeing is that NEET is not just an entrance exam. It is shaping how students learn, what they prioritize, and ultimately the kind of doctors they become. In a recent student survey that we conducted across medical colleges, students recognized both benefits and concerns regarding NEET. On the positive side, NEET preparation encourages students to study beyond what is required for university exams with access to high quality teaching through coaching platforms. It also creates a system that is perceived as merit based and streamlined. However, the concerns are far more significant. Students report adverse effects on clinical training. Many begin coaching as early as first year, often missing clinical classes and internship postings. Learning has become more theory focused with reduced clinical engagement. Examinations themselves are described as stressful and highly competitive. This mismatch between the neat style of MCQs and university exam formats creates additional difficulty, making MBBS feel more burdensome. Most importantly, students feel that the system affects the development as primary care physicians. There is a perceived loss of empathy and social orientation, and many graduates who do not immediately secure postgraduate seats do not work and join coaching centers to continue preparing for exams. In a recent focus group discussion in a private medical college, several additional patterns emerged. Almost all students reported using coaching platforms, particularly Marrow, as a primary learning resource. They find that these platforms simplify topics, making content more accessible, and help them to prepare for internal assessments and university exams. Many students express that postgraduate entrance preparation has become the primary goal of MBBS education. There is a growing misalignment between competency-based medical education, the CBME, which emphasizes clinical skills, and NEET PG, which largely tests factual recall. Added to this is the ongoing uncertainty about the implementation of the next exam. So what we are witnessing, therefore, is the emergence of a parallel learning system centered around NEET coaching that operates alongside the formal MBBS curriculum. This has led to a shift in focus from developing clinical skills to securing NEET PG ranks and a transformation of medical training from producing competent general doctors to preparing exam-oriented postgraduate aspirants. So the second question I'd like to address is what is the long-term impact of NEET on healthcare? There is growing concern that graduates are less prepared for independent practice at the end of MBBS. Basic clinical skills, decision-making ability, and procedural confidence are affected. During their mandatory or voluntary service periods, many graduates remain focused on preparing for NEET PG. They're trying to balance patient care with MCQ preparation, and this may affect the quality of care being delivered. NEET is also driving a strong push towards specialization. MBBS is no longer viewed as a meaningful endpoint, but merely as a step for postgraduate training. The declining emphasis on the concept of the basic doctor as envisioned by the Bore Committee risks weakening the primary and secondary healthcare system that rely on well-trained MBBS doctors. The third point, which I will focus on, is the impact on an institution like CMC. So Christian Medical College, Vellore, historically had admission processes that went beyond academic scores. Our MBBS entrance exam prior to NEET included a general ability paper, interviews, individual and this was closely aligned to the institutional mission for graduates to serve in needy areas after their training. With NEET, we have lost the ability, CMC has lost the ability to select students in this holistic manner. NEET evaluates rank, and we are now admitting MBBS students who have qualified the NEET, and then after they enter, trying to develop motivation and values after they enter the course. At the postgraduate level also, the earlier system of selection allowed us to assess not just the knowledge, but also the practical skills through practical tests and interviews. And with NEET, we need to invest additional time during training to develop basic clinical skills and help postgraduate trainees to adjust to their clinical responsibility. This has implications not just in training, but also for patient care. So in conclusion, I would like to say that NEET and the parallel coaching platforms are reshaping medical education and the medical colleges. The nature of learning, the development of clinical competence, and the professional identity of doctors. Graduates are less prepared to function as basic doctors, and this may affect the delivery of healthcare at primary and secondary level. This is also fostering the overproduction of specialists and specialist-oriented healthcare in the health system. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anand. You have completed 2 minutes prior to your allotted time. It was a very good presentation. You have emphasized on how the parallel coaching platforms are undermining the clinical skills and competency, and how MBBS is considered as an elementary education to take PG seats. It's very concerning to know how CMC is adversely affected, because earlier your entrance examination had a general ability paper and interview for your institutional vision to serve in rural areas. These things are adversely affected. And I remember there was a notification circular issued by CBSE way back in the year 2012. It stated that no school is allowed to conduct coaching for IIT or medical entrance examination or any other professional course entrance examination coaching inside the school campus premises. But because of the introduction of NEET, the situation has drastically changed, and nowadays schools are conducting integrated programs with various coaching centers, and even in many private medical colleges, rather than college faculties conducting classes, many coaching centers are conducting daily regular classes, and as per NMC mandate, the regular lectures are not happening. This is a very big issue. I hope there will be questions from the audience at the end of this session that will be asked to you, because we are having subsequent speakers. Now we shall move on to next speaker. I invite Professor Anita Rampal, a renowned educationist. She was a professor of elementary and school education at Delhi University. She has worked for last 4 decades towards better mathematics and science education in India. Professor Rampal was one of the core experts that worked with the NCRT towards the development of the National Curriculum Framework 2005. I invite Professor Anita Rampal to talk regarding the problems of centralization and problems in standardization and its socio-economic implications of NEET, and how she also will touch upon how it is devaluing the school education. Over to you, Professor Anita Rampal.
Thank you. And I also remember Amit on his 68th birthday, and the sparkle with which he would interact on many issues. I can imagine what he would be thinking about NEET. So with that, I just want to say that we have we've seen the last 1 or 2 months as a complete fiasco that has been caused by these centralized exams. NEET is a big one among them, but we also have CBSE, we have NET now. I mean, the NET, different subjects through which people are joining our university courses, and it's shocking. It's shocking the questions that are made. It's shocking the kind of errors that are there. And I know, this is being done by NTA, and we know what is happening within NTA. So for us, it's not just the paper itself, or it's not just what it's doing to education, but it's also this body which was set up by design for complete zero accountability, no accountability by the parliament. And I know when it was set up, before it was set up, because earlier CBSE used to be doing these centralized entrance tests. And I was on the governing body of CBSE, and I know that questions were being asked because a lot of revenue was earned by CBSE at that time. And people were asking and saying, why is CBSE doing this entrance test? Even though, and I point out, that they had a more reliable system of government schools and government institutions where this exam could be taken. Right now, that is completely gone, and we can see through the investigations that it's gone into private hands, it's gone into dubious hands, it's gone into hands where there's political patronage. So the entire system is flawed, and I call it a paper loot. So it's not a paper leak. Now, what happens within this paper loot kind of an ecosystem is even more devastating, because like you said, people perceive that if there is an entrance exam, then it should be fair. It should be based on fairly assessing their abilities. And we know that there are problems even in the way NEET is conducted. I mean, I was looking at last year's questions. 2025, this year's question, the one which was cancelled, it's shocking. I mean, the questions in physics, chemistry, math, biology, botany are really shocking.
Professor Anita, please be bilingual. There are many.
ओके तो जिस तरह के सवाल पूछे जाते हैं वो बहुत ही तुच्छ सवाल है। वो सवाल ऐसे नहीं है जिसमें 1 मिनट, आपके पास 1 मिनट होता है एक सवाल के लिए, और मैं अगर कोशिश करूं तो 1 मिनट में भी नहीं होता, क्योंकि आपको रटा हुआ होना चाहिए। वो आपसे पूछ रहे हैं, ऐसा सवाल है इस साल की नीट में कि एनर्जी फर्स्ट ऑर्बिट में इलेक्ट्रॉन की ये एनर्जी है, तो उसका रेडियस कितना है उस इलेक्ट्रॉन का। मतलब ऐसी चीजें हैं, उसमें कुछ फिगर्स दिए, सम डेटा इज गिवन, सम इंफॉर्मेशन इज गिवन, No one can really calculate it or do it, or there is no understanding. There are just formally given, and the questions are based on something that you have to know by practice and by coaching. सो जितने ये मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, इसमें सोचने की और खत्म किया जा रहा है, और सिर्फ उसका पैटर्न देख के, आपने पहले किया हुआ है उसका पैटर्न देख के आप उसका आंसर 1 मिनट के अंदर दीजिए. सो इसलिए वो हमारे लिए एज एन एजुकेशनिस्ट वो हमको किसी की समझ नहीं दिखाते. We just cannot assess anyone whether the person can write one sentence, the person understands this formula or this concept or not. So ऐसे इम्तिहान का मतलब क्या है, और लाखों लोग ऐसे इम्तिहान ले रहे हैं. अब 23 लाख ने लिया है इस साल, 22-23 लाख के बीच में इस साल इम्तिहान लिया है. So what happens to the whole system? One, school education becomes totally devalued. You don't have to work up to class 12, all the effort we put into the curriculum of understanding things, of critical thinking, of questioning, of reading, that goes to zero. Because I have met students who are preparing for the NEET or preparing for JEE, and they leave school after class 8, they go into a residential coaching center, and it is shocking. It's really shocking what is happening to them. They have sold their land, their parents have taken loan, and they are put into these prisons, which should be banned the way they are run. No regulation works. I've seen the Rajasthan regulation एक्ट बना था कि इन कोचिंग सेंटर्स को किस तरह से नियमित रूप से रेगुलेट किया जाए. उस एक्ट में बहुत चीजें नहीं डाली गई, क्योंकि वो हर एक का उसमें फायदा है, इतना फायदा है उसमें कि अब कोई उसमें कोई रेगुलेशन नहीं करना चाह रहा. तो ये पूरा सिस्टम क्या असर डालता है? वन, we tell people in our examination systems कि जितना बड़ा इम्तिहान, जितना ज्यादा कंपेटिटिव होता है, वो आपकी समझ को नहीं देखता. वो आप कितने सक्षम हो, आपकी एबिलिटी, योर कॉम्पिटेंस इज नॉट टेस्टेड. This is the world over. If it's a very competitive exam and only multiple choice, it is only testing the advantage that you have through a coaching center, through books, through videos, whatever, or parents at home, whatever. It's not testing your understanding. So what is the meaning? There is no merit being tested. Secondly, in NEET, there is another major problem. NEET qualifying marks are very low. I was shocked 2 years back when there was a Supreme Court hearing happening, and I went through all this data and I listened to 2 days of the hearing. I was shocked because one, you can see, I mean, even in this year, we can see that the number of students in Rajasthan who apply and they get admission is about 70%. This year, about 70%, about 1.76 lakhs applied and 1.25 lakhs got qualified. So what is happening? And they're not all from Rajasthan, clearly. So even when you look at the data which NTA is not giving us, and we get it through RTI or through other people, you can see that this is a huge network of organized loot. Because Kerala will get only 50% students, or between those who qualify and go, but Rajasthan is getting a larger number, about 70%. So what is happening? And the Supreme Court Justice Chandrachud, CJI, said, when he was being shown this data, he said, oh, some people go to some towns because marking is very lenient. Completely false. He doesn't even know that there is no lenient marking happening. So Supreme Court में ये चीज आई, 2 दिन चला, और फिर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कोई डिसीजन नहीं लिया, और हम जानते हैं कि क्या हुआ 2 साल पहले. तो इन एग्जाम से किसी की क्षमता नहीं टेस्ट होती है, और इसलिए हमें ध्यान रखना है कि इसका हो क्या रहा है. हर्ष, सिर्फ पैसा बनाना. सो एनटीए पैसा बनाता है, और एनटीए आपको कुछ बताता नहीं है, कोई अकाउंटेबिलिटी नहीं है कि कितना पैसा बना रहा है. क्योंकि मैं जानती हूँ जब सीबीएसई करता था तो वो सारा डेटा प्रेजेंट होता था, खूब पैसा बनाते थे इन अलग इम्तिहानों से, पर उससे ज्यादा कोचिंग इंडस्ट्री. क्योंकि 8 महीने पहले अभी सीबीआई इंक्वायरी में आया, CBI did an inquiry when they said 8 months before the exam was held, this last NEET, people had paid 10 lakh rupees for one child. So 20 lakhs for two children to get the paper. So you can book a paper 8 months before. What does that mean? So it is not as if it's by accident a few questions got leaked. The whole paper gets leaked, or at least most of the questions, like here we know out of 180, at least 160 or 150 questions had got leaked. So what is happening? It means confidence है लोगों को कि जो बना रहे हैं पेपर और उनका साथ जो मॉक टेस्ट करते हैं, जो कोचिंग चलाते हैं, under the name of mock tests or coaching or guest papers, they're actually giving students the paper. So we have to first close down an organization like NTA, which has no academic credentials. I know how a university entrance paper, the CUET, are made over there. People who go there are shocked because there is no academic ability within the organization, and now they're only concentrating and trying to hide this whole thing by saying we'll take the paper in helicopters and aeroplanes and all that. That is besides the point. So we have to fight against this centralization, because we know that children in our university, we know that children are not coming in as they did earlier. So children are not coming in from all the other state boards. It's only CBSE children who come in through the Central University entrance test. Mostly girls were not coming in as many numbers because the parents have to invest in coaching. So what is the point? Why are we doing this kind of a test which doesn't test your ability and which is unfair and which is totally open to corruption? I think we have to have a huge campaign with parents for them to understand कि ये मल्टीपल चॉइस जो है ये किसी की क्षमता को नहीं टेस्ट करता है. ये totally, as you heard before me, totally it disorients.
Professor Anita, please be brief and finish it in 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay.
I'm winding up. So as you heard before me, that even when they join the course, after so much trouble, after preparing for 2-3 years, after selling their land and their parents taking loan, when they join the course, they feel disoriented because that is not how they have prepared for the exam. They have not done their schooling seriously, and here they've gone and prepared for an exam which totally is not how you learn anything. सो क्या फायदा है? वो बच्चे भी जो ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं इतनी मशक्कत करके, वो वहां भी नहीं फिट हो रहे, उनको फिर कोचिंग करनी पड़ रही है. सो लाइक इट वाज सेड कि इससे ये भी फीलिंग है, आपने स्कूल को भी डिवैल्यू कर दिया, अब आप एमबीबीएस को भी डिवैल्यू कर रहे हो क्योंकि उनको लग रहा है कि प्रैक्टिकल स्किल्स की जरूरत नहीं है, हमको तो पीजी नीट लेना है. So this system is totally unacceptable. And as I said, we had said that even before you go in for these tests, children should have some aptitude testing at least. Are they keen to take this? Are they genuinely motivated towards that? And agar wo nahi hai, to they fall into a trap because the parents invest so much money and they can't then say, I don't want to do it. So the best years of their life, they are wasting on preparing for this test. And that is a big tragedy for the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Anita Rampal. You have emphasized on the problems NEET has created due to over-centralization and how paper loot is happening and lack of accountability of NTA compared to CBSE. We will discuss more about it. Actually, we are short of time, and Dr. Sundararaman sir, who is our next speaker, is supposed to travel abroad. So without wasting much time, I shall invite Dr. Sundararaman sir. Dr. Sundararaman sir is the former global coordinator of People's Health Movement, and he served as executive director of National Health System Resource Center and Tata Institute of Social Sciences. Dean of Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. We, as a JSA colleague, are associated with him. We always get inspired by his work. Now, Sundararaman sir has spared his time to talk about defining the fit for purpose as a doctor, realigning medical admissions with India's social and health goals. So I would like to formally invite Dr. Sundararaman sir and present his points. Thank you. Over to you, Sundar sir. Sir, you are not audible. You are not audible. You are mute. Your system mute, please.
I was saying, मिरन इतनी सर की भी जरूरत नहीं है, थोड़ा सर बोलना भी कम करो. It is an honor to me and a privilege to be invited to speak on the memorial of Amit Sengupta, my long-term friend and colleague and comrade in the struggle. And it's a privilege for me to be here. I'm so happy to be able to contribute my little bit on this. I think the two speakers before me have already, बहुत सारा चीजें they have already explained. I think, in a sense, what Dr. Anand Zakaria pointed out was how NEET PG is effectively destroying the content and quality of medical education itself. And what Anita is actually pointing out is how NEET UG is spoiling the entire range of school education itself. The entire school education is under threat now because only about 3% of the students who apply for NEET are going to make it into that. Even presumably it's well done, and if it's honestly done and they become doctors. What happens to the 95% who lost their best adolescence time, the best time of where you can sports, where you can read, where there is literature, where you understand biology or science or physics, into the degradation of multiple choice questions as the only form of learning, which Anita Rampal brought out. I think that's a very important point. But the point about it is, of the 150,000 people who apply for NEET PG, only about 25-30,000 will get into PG. Most of them are going to be in general practice, or what we can say different types of family medicine issues. But as Anand Zakaria was pointing out, in effect, even without this UG PG this NEET distortion of NEET PG distortion, the medical college is far more geared towards a sort of preparatory phase for specialization than towards general practice. So for primary care, which is your greater need, the course is completely unfit for purpose. And fitness for purpose requires at least three dimensions of fitness. One is it requires the knowledge and skills. One, it requires the attitude of caring, of being able to provide public services, to be able to do what is best in the patient's interest, even though it may not be aligned to your own monetary interests. And the third is the social fit, that you need to
Dr.
be able.
Sundar, please be bilingual. Please be bilingual.
Third is the social fit, where you need to be working in the place where you are needed most, in the areas where you are needed most. कहने के मतलब है कि अगर जो काम के लिए, जिस पर्पस के लिए हम इसे बना रहे हैं, डॉक्टर बना रहे हैं, तो उसको तो उसका ज्ञान, उसकी क्षमताएं वैसी रहना चाहिए जो जरूरी है, वो ज्यादातर प्राथमिक स्वास्थ्य के में जरूरी है. और दूसरा वो कैरिंग, जो लोगों को एक पब्लिक सर्विस की ओर फिट करने की जरूरत है. और फिर जहां उसकी सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है, वहां खुशी खुशी काम करने के लिए वो तैयार रहने की जरूरत है. ना कि कोई जबरदस्ती हो, ना कि कोई उस पर एक पेनाल्टी होगा अगर वो जाके काम नहीं करे, ये नहीं होगा. तो उसके लिए हमें वो मेडिकल एजुकेशन के बारे सोचने की बहुत सारे चीजें हैं. और हम देखते हैं कि जो आज है, नीट भी सही, बाकी चीज भी सही, जैसे what Anita was pointing out, look at how low the scores can drop. And then if you have scores below a particular point, you can get into private medical colleges and you can pay a huge sum and come out. And when you go to NEET PG, you can even qualify with a 0 mark to go into your next course. And these people who, this becomes a sort of legitimization of private medical college, presumably that they can charge so much amounts, but yet are providing quality education. So not only does it measure merit, even within its measurement, it's dropped to such a level that the whole merit argument becomes bogus. It just becomes a way of whitewashing entry. But can you expect somebody who's paying 1 crore for his medical education and further crores for his specialist education to be available for public service, to be caring, to be able to make it? What are the attitudes with which he is trained? What is the social thing? So the way the whole process molds the character of the person itself makes him quite a danger, leave alone a fit for the purpose that is required. There are, like CMC has its own way of affirmative action to ensure that they got people who are willing to serve in remote areas. State governments do it in different ways. They have medical colleges close to different people. Some had reservations for government school students. Some had different forms of affirmative action to make sure that places where there is underservice get that. So it's not just NEET exam, it's the entire process of selection. It's the entire process of education, the content of education, and going back that needs a reform. NEET is only the point where it becomes reduced to its absurd levels, where the absurdity of the whole process is starkly revealed. And it has the motivation of loot pervades many sections of it. But here it sort of becomes the only thing that remains standing, because this whole notion of merit goes for a toss. So I think when we think of medical education, we primarily need to start with understanding the community's needs for healthcare. And every policy must be tested against being able to fulfill the people's needs for healthcare. If it is not about anybody willing to make an investment in medical colleges getting their return, that is not a legitimate goal. But even the goal that everybody should have a fair chance to get into a medical college, and that fair chance is anyway not fair, but even if it were, is to be held subordinate to the goal of people, the needs of healthcare. And this alignment between medical education and community health needs is, I think, central to what we need to think about. Thank you. अब दोनों लैंग्वेज में बात करना मुश्किल है, तो मैं सोचता हूँ कि लोग समझ जाएंगे। और मेरा कहना है कि लोगों की जो स्वास्थ्य की जरूरतें हैं, स्वास्थ्य की आवश्यकता है, वो हमें मार्गदर्शन दिखाना चाहिए कि किस तरह की मेडिकल एजुकेशन और एजुकेशन पॉलिसीज, ना कि वो जो पूंजी डालता है उसको उसमें रिटर्न प्रॉफिट आया कि नहीं, ना कि हम ये भी देखें कि स्टूडेंट सबको एक ही मौका मिलना चाहिए। वो सही है, लेकिन इट हैज टू बी सबऑर्डिनेट टू द लार्जर इश्यू दैट पीपल शुड गेट जिस तरह की स्वास्थ्य सेवाएं चाहिए, उसके अनुसार मेडिकल एजुकेशन की दिशा रहना चाहिए। थैंक यू।
Thank you very much, Sundar. You have finished your presentation 2 minutes prior to your allotted time. And it was very enlightening presentation. आपने तो दोनों language use करके काफी अच्छा बात किया है. Without, as you will not be present for subsequent question answer session, if there are any questions asked by audience, we will send it to you over email and we will get back your replies for that. Thank you very much for your time and your valuable presentation. Next, we shall go to our next speaker, Dr. Savitri and Dr. Priyadarsh. Actually, these are two different individuals, but we consider them as a single individual, and in the poster also their names are put up together. Dr. Savitri is my batchmate and we did MBBS together in MGMS Sevagram. She is a practicing physician and she is also one of the founder of UMETA Foundation. She is active in Medico's friend circle. She continuously writes about various issues in medical education and women's rights, etc. She is going to talk about how the centralized counseling system brought up by NEET has become a lottery, which is a factor decided based only upon luck, not a fair system of counseling. So she is going to talk about NEET PG lottery, the systemic failures, counseling chaos, and erosion of merit. I invite Dr. Savitri to take over and start her presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kadir. Am I audible?
You are audible. You are audible.
Yes. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So far we have been listening to the various impact of NEET, UG, and PG. I would like to begin by giving a first-hand account of as a student who has gone through both these processes and has witnessed firsthand how this has changed the way we study. So, as far as NEET UG is concerned, I was a person who went into NEET UG coaching from the time I was in 11th standard. And the coaching institute was 65 kilometers away from our house. And we used to go every weekend to that place, travel, spend a lot of money. And it was a pressure among all of us in the place that I live that you have to go to coaching, otherwise you are not going to be able to crack this exam. So it additionally added to so much hours to our work. A 16, 17-year-old children, we were working 7 days a week and sometimes more on weekends so that we can crack this exam. We were exhausted throughout those 2 years to the point that once I somehow got into MBBS, I had decided that whatever happens, I am not going to do any coaching during my MBBS years. So during our MBBS years in Sevagram, we have noticed that during the weekends, especially this issue started around the time when we were in third year, that the hostels would become completely empty because all our batchmates would be away going to coaching in a nearby town. And sometimes there would be some very famous PG coaching teachers who would come into Nagpur, and my batchmates would bunk entire weeks of class and go and attend those coachings in Nagpur so that they can get those exquisite notes that those teachers give, which they believed would help them in the entrance exams. And those teachers were, of course, good. I have listened to some of their lectures online, and those teachers are really, really good. But the bigger problem I felt was a fear mongering among the medical students that somehow, if you do not do this now, you will be left behind in this whole race and this timeline that we're supposed to fulfill in our lives, finish this exam by this age and settle by this age, etc., etc. That would be it wouldn't be possible to be achieved. So this fear affected a lot of things. But I just wanted to say that both NEET UG as well as NEET PG, I think they're also harvesting into some existing issues with our education system itself. I remember both my schooling education as well as my college MBBS education was grossly inadequate in terms of equipping me for anything further, in the sense that even within my school and colleges, I did not have teachers who were teaching me anything conceptually. So if not for these coaching institutes, of course, since I had the privilege, I could access them. But if not for them, I wonder how exactly am I supposed to get that knowledge and from where? I was a student who decided that I will not attend any coaching institutes during my 5 years of MBBS. But when I did finally acquire the Marrow platform and I listened to the lectures, I felt, oh, I should have listened to this before so that my MBBS would have been a little easier. Because again, I come from a relatively good institution in Maharashtra. But in spite of that, the quality of undergraduate education is heavily put on the overworked postgraduate students in every clinical department. So I remember we used to go and we used to kind of beg them that please teach us something today. Then they will scold us, they will send us back. Then again we'll go back. So this had become a very routine kind of a thing, to the point that I have given advice to my juniors that please be ready to face this rejection when you go to wards and ask them to teach. And the more persistent you are, the more likely you are to learn something. So this was again, I'm not blaming those postgraduate students. They are overworked. Now, since I completed my post-graduation, I feel I have done the same thing to the undergraduates in the medical college that I currently work in. So the existing problems of both MBBS and school education is what the coaching mafia has tapped into, is what I feel. In addition, this whole, as far as the corruption with NEET PG counseling goes, I was very horrified to hear the degree of things that happen. Like we can pay somewhere close to 60 to 70 lakhs, and there is this agency which will collect all our information. They will apply themselves, they will pay the fees, all that they will do, to the point that they'll get a center in a particular location which is very different from where you reside in, and someone else will give the exam on your behalf, and you just have to tell them which range of ranks you want. Of course, this person will not give you the top 10 ranks, etc., but they will give you within the thousands or within the 2000s, depending on your goal college. And then you'll get the rank list, and then you can attend the counseling yourself. So to this extent, there is corruption. And when I got to know about these processes as a student, again, it felt very pointless. The kind of stress that you go through, and the amount of money and time you spend to get into these colleges, because people are just getting into it by giving money. So there is the whole idea that the streamlining and
Savitri,
somehow
please be
make the
bilingual.
process.
Please be bilingual. Please be bilingual.
Okay, so the whole idea that this is streamlined and the merit will be will succeed and all, is it's a complete myth, because NEET PG counseling is a total gamble, and how that is will be explained in detail by Priyadarsh. I would like to hand it over to him.
हेलो खादिर।
Hi,
यस,
Priyadarsh.
मैं सुनाई दे रहा हूँ। मैं पहले ही
Yeah,
बाइलिंगुअल हो
yeah.
गया। यस
हाँ, सुनाई तो दे रहा है।
यस यस
डॉक्टर सुबोध सर से एक जो ईमेल आया है, आई हैव आस्क्ड हिम टू प्रेजेंट इट ड्यूरिंग द क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन, सो सर विल बी प्रेजेंटिंग द एनालिसिस बेस्ड ऑन 2024 नीट यूजी रिजल्ट्स, so you don't touch those things, you do your presentation.
यस ओके। सो यस, तो आई विल बी वेरी शॉर्ट, टाइमर लगा था। यस, सो मैं आज जो बात करूंगा वो नीट पीजी के काउंसलिंग प्रोसेस के बारे में बात करूंगा। तो जैसे पिछले 2-3 साल से मैं नीट पीजी का काउंसलिंग प्रोसेस फॉलो कर रहा हूँ, और उसमें एक चीज दिख रही है कि उसमें राउंड्स होते हैं। मतलब किसी भी मेडिकल कॉलेज में, सपोज जीएमसी नागपुर है, उसमें अगर पीजी के 100 सीट्स है तो 50% सीट्स ऑल इंडिया के लिए चले जाते हैं, 50% सीट्स स्टेट के लिए रहते हैं, उस राज्य के लिए रहते हैं। जैसे महाराष्ट्र की सीट महाराष्ट्र के कैंडिडेट ही ले सकते हैं, और बाकी 50% ऑल इंडिया से कोई भी आ सकता है। और उसमें राउंड्स रहते हैं, तो ऑल इंडिया के अलग राउंड्स रहते हैं और स्टेट के अलग राउंड्स रहते हैं। और किसी रीजन की वजह से इन लोगों ने तय किया कि हम अलग अलग राउंड्स डिक्लेयर करेंगे। जैसे अभी जैसे 1 जुलाई है, तो 1 जुलाई से 15 जुलाई तक ऑल इंडिया ने राउंड डिक्लेयर किया, तो स्टेट वाले जो है उसके बाद या उसके बीच में कई राउंड डिक्लेयर करेंगे। और उसके बाद सेकंड राउंड होगा, सेम ऑल इंडिया का राउंड डिक्लेयर होगा और स्टेट वाले करेंगे। अब हर स्टेट अलग अलग राउंड डिक्लेयर कर रहा है। राजस्थान का अलग डेट है, तमिलनाडु का अलग डेट है, महाराष्ट्र का अलग डेट है, कर्नाटका का अलग डेट है। ये अलग अलग टाइम पे राउंड डिक्लेयर कर रहे हैं। ऑल इंडिया का राउंड चल रहा है। इसमें प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि बहुत सारे लोग एलिजिबल रहते हैं कोई भी जगह पे सीट लेने के लिए। जैसे अगर मैं हूँ तो मैं ऑल इंडिया में भी एक सीट ले लूंगा। मान लो जीएमसी नागपुर से मैंने मेडिसिन ले लिया ऑल इंडिया कोटा से, पर मुझे पता है कि स्टेट राउंड में मुझे जे मेडिकल कॉलेज से मुंबई से मेडिसिन मिल जाएगा, पर अभी तक स्टेट राउंड ओपन नहीं हुआ है, तो मैंने ऑल इंडिया कोटा से जीएमसी नागपुर का मेडिसिन का सीट लेके रख दिया। अभी मैंने राउंड 1 में भी लिया है, एडमिशन नहीं लिया। राउंड 2 में भी मैंने वही अप्लाई किया और एडमिशन नहीं लिया। इस वजह से क्या होता है, सपोज मेरे पीछे जिसका रैंक है उस पर्सन को मिला है जीएमसी यवतमाल। मैंने दोनों राउंड्स में मैंने जीएमसी नागपुर ब्लॉक करके रखा है। मुझे लेना है जे कॉलेज जो मुझे स्टेट राउंड से मिल रहा है। तो जो जीएमसी यवतमाल में है उसको मेरा जीएमसी नागपुर नहीं मिलेगा, और इस वजह से प्रॉब्लम ये हो जाएगा कि थर्ड राउंड मॉपअप राउंड है। मुझे लग रहा है कि जीएमसी यवतमाल मैंने छोड़ दिया तो इससे बुरा कॉलेज मिलेगा या कि कोई और ये कॉलेज ले लेगा, तो मैं उस डर से मैं वो सीट रिटेन कर लूंगा। और पता चलेगा कि मॉपअप राउंड में जीएमसी नागपुर ओपन हो गया, क्योंकि जिसने जीएमसी नागपुर लिया था उसको स्टेट राउंड में जे में मेडिसिन मिल गया। तो ये सीट ब्लॉकिंग हर जगह होता है। तो पहले और दूसरे राउंड वेस्टेज ऑफ टाइम है और वेस्टेज ऑफ मनी है, वेस्टेज ऑफ रिसोर्सेस है। लोग बस ब्लॉक करने के लिए सीट्स लेते हैं और उसका कोई फायदा नहीं होता। लेकिन उस वजह से क्या होता है, डर के मारे बहुत सारे लोग रिटेन कर लेते हैं अलग अलग सीट्स, क्योंकि ना स्टेट के और ऑल इंडिया के जो राउंड्स है वो सिंक्रोनाइज नहीं है, एक ही टाइम पे नहीं आते। महाराष्ट्र में मान लो किसी ने केस कर दिया है तो वो स्टे आ गया, तो महाराष्ट्र का राउंड अलग चल गया। जैसे 2023 में हुआ था कि जिसको 2000, 3000, 4000 तक रैंक है उनको ऑल इंडिया में लेना पड़ा, क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र के राउंड डिक्लेयर ही नहीं हुए थे। ऑल इंडिया के सारे राउंड्स हो गए, तो बहुत सारे लोगों ने ऑल इंडिया में उनको जो मिल रहा है वो ले लिया। उसके बाद महाराष्ट्र के सीट डिक्लेयर हुए और उसके बाद फिर लोगों ने एडमिशन लिए, लेकिन ऑलरेडी जो टॉप 3-4 हजार 5 हजार तक थे उन लोगों ने ऑल इंडिया कोटा से एडमिशन लिया और उनको कम रैंक वाले उतने जो प्रेफरेबल कॉलेज थे वो नहीं मिले उनको। और उसके बाद के रैंक थे जो 6 हजार से 10 हजार है मान लो, तो जो सीट्स महाराष्ट्र में फिर अभी ओपन हुई और ऑल इंडिया में तो जो बंदों ने ले ली वो तो इनएलिजिबल हो गए स्टेट राउंड के लिए, तो फिर 6 हजार के बाद के लोगों को अच्छे अच्छे कॉलेज मिल गए। तो जो हम कहते हैं कि मेरिट हम लोग मेंटेन कर रहे हैं, जो डिजर्व करता है उसको अच्छा कॉलेज मिलेगा, उसको प्रेफरेंस मिलेगा, तो ये ऐसा नहीं है। ये बहुत लक पे डिपेंड करता है कि आपका रैंक कितना है और आपको कौन सा कॉलेज मिलेगा। क्या उस कॉलेज को किसी ने ऑलरेडी ब्लॉक करके रखा है और उसको ऑलरेडी ब्लॉक करके रखा है तो वो छोड़ने वाला है या नहीं, आपको पता ही नहीं चलता। ये मॉपअप राउंड में भी आपको पता नहीं चलता है, स्टे राउंड में पता नहीं चलता है कि मेरे ऊपर के जो बंदे ने वो कॉलेज लिया है क्या वो सिर्फ ब्लॉक करने के लिए लिया है या फिर वो रियली वो कॉलेज लेना चाहता है। और रियली लेना चाहते हो तो फिर मुझे अगर इन्फॉर्मेशन हो तो मैं कोई दूसरा कॉलेज ले लूँ। और इसमें बहुत बार होता है कि कोर्ट केसेस बहुत ज्यादा आ जाते हैं, सीट ब्लॉकिंग होती है, सेंटर और स्टेट में सिंक्रोनाइजेशन बहुत बार नहीं होता है, तो बहुत बार फियर फैक्टर इसमें काम करता है कि मुझे डर है कि क्या पता अगर मैंने ये चीज छोड़ दी और मॉपअप राउंड में मुझे कोई और बेकार कॉलेज मिला या जो उतना अच्छा कॉलेज है मेरी पसंद की ब्रांच नहीं मिली तो क्या कर सकते हैं। तो इस डर से बहुत लोग फर्स्ट या सेकंड राउंड में चीजें ले लेते हैं, पर उनके लिए जो एलिजिबल चीजें हैं जो बाद में स्टेट राउंड में खुलने वाली है वो उनको कभी पता ही नहीं चलती है। और इसके बहुत ही सरल चीजें हैं, जैसे नीट यूजी में इजीली एक ही लिस्ट लगती है जिससे आपको एडमिशन लेना है, तो अगर हम लोग वो उसको एक सिंगुलर प्रोसेस कर ले तो ये आसानी से ये इश्यूज सॉल्व हो सकते हैं। लेकिन फिर पीजी में ये प्रॉब्लम जो है वो काफी आता है। तो मेरा 6 मिनट था, मैंने 6 मिनट ले लिया है और मैं जितना समझ रहा हूँ वो बोला है। इस पे मैंने एक आर्टिकल भी लिखा है जो पब्लिश्ड है जिसमें ये डिटेल में यही चीजों को बहुत विस्तार से बताया, तो आप उसको ढूंढ सकते। इज नीट पीजी प्रोसेस ऑफ लक और गैम्बलिंग। तो थैंक यू कादिर।
Thank you very much, Dr. Priyadarsh. Actually, I consider Dr. Priyadarsh and Savitri as a single entity. So I forgot to formally introduce Dr. Priyadarsh. Dr. Priyadarsh is a community medicine postgraduate from MJMS Sevagram Sushila Nair School of Public Health. He is very student friendly, and wherever he goes, either it's MJMS or some other college, he usually brings a platform for informal education and meetup of all the medical graduates and medical students so that their social skills and other skill developments would be better. Dr. Priyadarsh, along with Savitri, is the founder director of UMETA Foundation, and they both are working together on public health and its aspects. So wherever there is some flood or some natural disaster, Dr. Savitri and Priyadarsh will travel to that part of the country to assist as a through their foundation. Thank you, Dr. Priyadarsh. Actually, I remember when it was introduced, the centralized counseling was not there. It was proposed as a solution to multiple entrance exams given by medical aspirants and postgraduate aspirants. Even though it is functional since 2013, only in the year 2018, central government has brought up a gazette notification that only centralized counseling will take place. And after that centralized counseling was brought forward, all these issues have arisen. And it is very difficult. Unlike the previous Medical Council of India times, in between the counseling process, usually the counseling process will go on for 2 to 3 months. When Medical Council of India was there, the seats for that academic year is fixed. Then only the counseling process will start. But currently, what is happening is in between the counseling process, after 1 or 2 rounds of the counseling gets over, suddenly new seats are getting added up, and people are saying, "Oh, this is a better college and this is a better option." They are leaving the previous college, and if they the round in which they have taken seat previously, it doesn't permit the aspirants to leave the seat, then it goes to mop-up round candidates directly. It's of course luck is playing a big factor. We will address all these issues as a question from audiences at the end of this session. Now I would like to invite Miss Vaishnavi from Cockroach Janata Party to talk about this NEET and what are the difficulties and field realities they are seeing. Dr. Vaishnavi is also a spokesperson of Cockroach Janata Party. I formally invite Ms. Vaishnavi to take over and start her presentation. Thank you.
Fine. I hope I'm audible. I'm very sorry if there's a lot of
Yeah, you
noise
are
from the
audible.
background. So yeah, as ironically, I know that before me a lot of subject experts and technicalities have been gone into. But currently I'm on the ground with a lot of angles on me, especially. And to give you to talk broadly about me, one thing on the ground that I have observed is I'm really sorry.
Vaishnavi, your voice is not clear. Your voice is not clear. Please check.
Now you let me know.
No, audio is not clear.
Maybe slow down your diction so we can hear better.
Actually, I'm not around. So that happens because of that reason. My colleague, Afrin, is here. She's also a spokesperson. Maybe she can take it on.
Hello.
Vaish-
Hello.
Afrin,
Hi.
are you present here? Could you
Yes.
talk?
Hello. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, yes. Your audio is clear. Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
it is clear. I've just come
I
to
just 1 minute. Actually, Afrin Nawaz is also a spokesperson of Cockroach Janata Party. She will be presenting her perspective on what she witnesses in the field. Thank you.
hello everybody. I'm so sorry if my voice is not audible, but I'm trying to be at a very audible place. Please let me know if that is a difficult. Hello. Hello. Am I
Yeah, you are
audible?
audible. You are audible. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
So I'm not going to take much of time, but everybody is aware how NEET has affected a lot of students. So the challenge begins long before the exam hall, you know. They face vast syllabus, intense competition, and limited seats. So students, like personally seeing on ground reality, it is just not the exam what they face, but the family peer pressure on how the family is managed to get to that level where the student can take up their exams, and while at that day, while the exam is there, they just realize the person sitting beside is already aware about the papers or not the paper leak. So it is a lot of mental stress what they go through. And I feel the massive syllabus pressure is also one of the neat problems what I have come across with few of the students, like 11th and 12th. They have major subjects like physics, chemistry, and biology. So they need long-term consistency and not just last-minute revision, right? So they go through even the massive syllabus pressure. And I feel even time management plays a huge role. Not forgetting the mental stress what they go through because of all the panic what they get, in and around their peer pressure. And the main thing is financial burden, which has led a lot of students to suicide because the parents go through a lot of financial burden to put them into that place. But and yeah, the main reasons, the main problems what they face is this. And most important is unequal access. Students from rural areas or weaker school systems often begin with less support and very fewer resources, and there is a lot of bigger learning gaps. So I feel unequal access with the students among also play a lot of role when it comes to taking competitive exams. So these are the problems, on the ground reality what they face. And NTA is the main thing, because NTA, for a body that conducts such huge examination, is not even a statutory body. So we really need to look forward to fix the education, and we need education reforms Yeah, I'm this. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, you are audible. You are audible.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
So this is what I would like to conclude. Like, there are problems faced by students have not been hidden. So we really need a lot of education reforms so as to fix the basic problems.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Afrin Nawaz. I hope you people will succeed in the uh, agenda and the reforms for which you are protesting and taking forward. I hope JSA and other educationists and other speakers will be able to offer support to your demands, and we hope soon the government listens to your demands. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And the main thing is accountability from the government. If there is one step wherein they take accountability, I feel most of the problem will be set. I mean, the basic where the problem just starts, the root cause of the problem will be fixed if the government takes accountability. And here we are just focusing on the same thing, to get accountability and to have better education system to each of us.
Sure. Thank you very much, Ms. Afrin Nawaz. We have concluded the presentation. We have completed the presentation of all our speakers. Actually, one of my teacher, Dr. Subodh Gupta, is here. Before beginning of this webinar, he has sent an email with analysis of NEET UG 2024 results. Based on what he has seen, one of his niece has appeared in NEET UG in the year 2024, so he was following, and being a public health expert, he has done analysis, and he has found some significant findings. Sir is not a panelist, but since sir wanted to take up those findings as also a part of this discussion, I am inviting Dr. Subodh S. Gupta, who is the HOD of Community Medicine in Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Medical Sciences, Sevagram, to take over and present his findings based on UG 2024 statistical analysis results before beginning the question answer session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Khader. Nice to see you, and Priyadarsh, Savitri, Dr. Anand, and everyone. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. मैं हिंदी में बोलूँ तो ज़्यादा बेटर रहेगा शायद, सो मैं हिंदी में भी बोलता हूँ। और उसके पहले एक्चुअली कॉन्टेक्स्ट ये है कि मैं बहुत क्लोजली फॉलो कर रहा था यूजी नीट रिजल्ट 2024 को, और उस समय काफ़ी मार्क्स का प्रॉब्लम हुआ था और इरेगुलरिटीज रिपोर्ट हुए थे, एंड आप सबको पता है कि ये कोर्ट में गया था, तो कोर्ट में जब केस था तब भी मैं काफ़ी क्लोजली फॉलो कर रहा था, एंड कोर्ट ने एनटीए को ऑर्डर दिया था कि ये सभी सेंटर वाइज रिजल्ट्स पब्लिक करें, और ये एग्जैक्टली आई अंडरस्टैंड कि 20 जुलाई को एनटीए को पब्लिक करना था ये रिजल्ट, वो सैटरडे था, और एनटीए ने ये पब्लिक किया था। मैं बहुत सरप्राइज था हालांकि कि जब एनटीए ने पब्लिक किया तो मुझे लगा था कि कोई एक डेटाबेस या इस ढंग से आएगा कि एक इजीली मार्क्स कोई एनालिसिस कर पाएगा, लेकिन ये हर सेंटर वाइज पीडीएफ करके दिया गया, एंड बहुत डिफिकल्ट था। तो मैं एक अपनी मेंटल तैयारी के साथ था कि मैं ये रिजल्ट एनालिसिस करूंगा, लेकिन काफ़ी डिफिकल्ट था। फिर भी हमने कई स्टेट के हजारों सेंटर्स का डाउनलोड किया पीडीएफ, और उसको स्कैन करके हमने उसकी एनालिसिस की। मैंने उस समय केवल डेंसिटी कर्व्स बनाए थे, आप लोगों में से कुछ लोग ये डेंसिटी कर्व समझ पाएंगे, और मैं इसको एक पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन शेयर करता हूँ जहाँ ये समझ में आएगा। ये 4 स्टेट और कुछ सेंटर्स का रिजल्ट का एनालिसिस है जो हम लोग उस समय कर पाए थे। मैं भी अपना पावर पॉइंट शेयर करता हूँ यहाँ। Okay, you need to allow me. Fine. I think I have permission. मेरा स्क्रीन दिख रहा है क्या अभी?
Yes, it's visible. It's visible.
Yeah, so सबसे पहले मैं एक महाराष्ट्र का रिजल्ट के साथ शुरू कर रहा हूँ. सो ये डेंसिटी कर्व्स हैं और महाराष्ट्र के सिटी वाइज सारे सेंटर्स के डेंसिटी
Subodh sir, please be bilingual. There are many participants from South India also, many audience. Please be
fine.
bilingual.
So these are density curves, and the density curves should be usually should be bell shaped. So you can see a pattern in the curve, and this pattern, and it is slightly skewed towards the right, and this is normal. So यहाँ पर हम when we see density curves for different cities in Maharashtra, most of these seem to be normal, except there are some variations. There is one district we had identified that as Nandurbar. Nandurbar is towards the left, जो लेफ्ट साइड में कर्व एक दिख रहा है, और एक यहाँ लातूर है जो थोड़ा सा एबनॉर्मल उसका राइट साइड में ऊपर की तरफ दिख रहा है. और मुझे बाद में समझ में आया कि लातूर में कोचिंग सेंटर्स हैं. सो लातूर हैज several famous in Maharashtra, but this is a small variation. Now I will take you to some other states. Now you see city-wise distribution for Rajasthan, and there is lots of variations, and especially if you see this thick curve, ये pink thick curve जो है, this is for Sikar, and जो मार्क्स का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है यहाँ आप देख सकते हैं कि सीकर के काफी सारे स्टूडेंट्स का मार्क्स का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हाइयर साइड में है, एंड ये टुवर्ड्स हाई मार्क्स पीक भी कर रहा है. एंड एक और सरप्राइजिंग बात थी कि हम लोग आमतौर पे कोटा का नाम सुनते हैं. Even Kota is below this. Kota, probably the second line here is Kota. So Kota से भी सीकर का जो रिजल्ट है बिल्कुल अलग है. So ये काफी सस्पिशियस है. इसके बाद तमिलनाडु का ये यदि कर्व देखें, दिस इज फॉर तमिलनाडु, डिफरेंट सिटीज इन तमिलनाडु. So you see one deviation here, huge deviation, that is to my understanding, I've forgotten, but I can find out exactly. I have all the data. Probably this is Namakkal. यहाँ कलर कोड दिया हुआ है, लेकिन एक ही जैसे कलर काफी हैं, सो ये डिफरेंशिएट करना थोड़ा मुश्किल है. मुझे ग्राफ में एग्जैक्टली देखना पड़ेगा, बट जहां तक मुझे याद है ये नमक्कल है. ऐसे ही आप गुजरात देखें, सो गुजरात में भी काफी सारी जगह हमें ये नॉर्मल कर्व्स दिख रहे हैं, लेकिन राजकोट स्टैंड आउट कर रहा है बिल्कुल अलग. सो ये जो इतनी ज्यादा डेविएशंस दिख रही हैं, और ये जो कर्व बिल्कुल एबनॉर्मल कर्व है, पीपल में से कि यहाँ कोचिंग सेंटर्स हैं, ऐसा हो सकता है, लेकिन ये सस्पिशियस है. एंड यदि इरेगुलरिटीज हो, यदि लाइक द पेपर इज बीइंग लीक्ड, ये बड़ा इजी है कि जहाँ कोचिंग सेंटर्स हैं उनको टारगेट करना, जिनके पास पेपर्स है, वो बड़ा इजी है. एंड दे विल हैव whole system, and they will know parents who will be coaching centers will know parents who will be able to pay, and they can organize all of this. So this definitely needed investigation, and probably this kind of a thing is continuing in other exams also. I could not be sure about this, but even if this is happening due to just coaching centers, and then also for education system, it is giving a very wrong message. The message here is that every father, every family will have to send their children to a city where coaching centers are required. We'll not have a normal education system in this country. And this totally excludes children from poor families or even middle class families to get equal opportunities in exams. So this is very, very serious. I will share this later. I had also plotted for some of the cities center-wise. So this is for seeker center-wise results, and you can see that most of these centers are not following normal curve pattern. So everything seems so deviated. So that is a concern, and I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Subodh. Actually, it's a very interesting finding. If NTA publishes center-wise data for all their exams every year, rather than merely raising allegations, we people will be able to analyze and point out what are the places at which malpractices could have happened, and these are easy to address. As a students and academicians, we demand is transparency and accountability and following of the due procedural protocols and norms. Thank you very much. Before beginning the question answer session, I would like to invite Mr. Amir Khan, who is also the coordinator of Makkal Nalavalvu Yekam, People's Janswastha Abhiyan's Tamil Nadu chapter, because Tamil Nadu is since it needs implementation, it is against NEET, and there are so many protests. Even the government itself is taking a stand that we do not want NEET. They have passed a bill twice in their assembly to scrap NEET for their government seats. The government stand is for the private seats and for the self-financing colleges management seats, NEET can be there. What Tamil Nadu government bill, which is still pending for president assent, says that they want exemption for government quota seats, the seats which government is supposed to allot, that is all the 100% seats of government medical colleges and 50% seats of self-financing private medical colleges, which are surrendered for central allocation at state level. So I am formally inviting Amir Khan to take over and present his points before we begin the question answer session. Amir, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Father, and good evening, all. And I may not able to open my video. I'm in the hospital, and I just wanted to make only 2-3 points, and I was late. Sorry, and I hope like many aspects have come out during this meeting. But I just wanted to focus only on 3-4 demands which the entire Tamil Nadu is focusing or kind of demanding for the last almost for a decade. I think that's what I wanted to present here. And as JSA, though we couldn't take a stand, and we are trying to do that, maybe in the future we'll do as a JSA National Committee stand on NEET. But in Tamil Nadu, as all of you know, like there are many protests, many consultations, and on almost all the social network forums, all kind of working against needs, and there's a single demand from the floor of assembly as well as outside of the assembly. And as Kader has said, Tamil Nadu Assembly has twice passed a resolution, a kind of unanimous resolution, which is very of a rare case in Tamil Nadu, said that we don't want NEET. I think that's what, as a Makkal Nalavalvu Yekam, the JSA Tamil Nadu thing, also we have a stand. And the recent election manifesto, which we released in Tamil Nadu, is also as a primary demand that abolish NEET. We have many factors, many kind of justifications for that, which must have come in this meeting also. With as last speaker has said, there is injustice, there is inequality has been increasing within the public health system, within the kind of a student community due to need. So considering all this factor, I just wanted to place here, like as on behalf of MNI, JSA Tamil Nadu, like no, we also want to reiterate that the abolition of NEET is the only solution from Tamil Nadu people's point of view. At the most or at the least, I would say like no, Tamil Nadu should be exempted. There are many factors why Tamil Nadu wanted this. The strong public health system, strong public health cadre, and we have resources and to retain those resources, retain those doctors, retain those kind of in-service doctors, we 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 should not have need in Tamil Nadu. So at present, we don't have a data like know what is kind of a impact on need on kind of in service PG doctors who are worked in the system now they are not working. So that we don't have the data. But the point is like the public health system, the primary healthcare is the pillar of Tamil Nadu's progress in healthcare indicators, and that is being kind of impacted and that is being challenged by the need. So, and we have AK Rajan committee and all of us know that it's in public domain. And so based on all these things, I just wanted to place here, like we don't want the abolition of need, one. Second, the important point is like, what is the kind of a solution? So the solution is also given in the AK Rajan committee, which all of us accepted. Though there is a flaw, we have to go back to the higher secondary, the +2 exam is kind of aggregated mark. And in Tamil Nadu, in 90s, we have tried this entrance-based exam in the engineering stream and all. We have tried that. We have tried the aggregated mark of +2, and we have both experience in both the systems. So based on that experience, everybody kind of agreed in Tamil Nadu, like no, we need to go back to the class 12 based aggregated mark. So that is the kind of other thing. And the biggest other demand, like no, apart from the government medical college, which has been impacted by the need, the deemed universities. There are a lot of deemed universities in Tamil Nadu, which has a separate law, which is governed by separate law and all. So this through the need is kind of giving kind of exemption to the deemed university to make money and to kind of do all kind of irregularities. So we want a kind of Tamil Nadu is also a code. We want a kind of a separate act and kind of to regulate this deemed university to kind of bringing equality among the students and the entrance exams and all this. I think these are kind of 3-4 major demands which we consistently putting it here. And to the extent Tamil Nadu has gone to bring the higher education of medical education to a state list also. So that is the kind of the basic problem is starts from there. So I think that's also kind of a broader demand, which is an important demand. So yeah, these are the 3-4 points I wanted to kind of mention here in this meeting. That's why I wanted to get the space. Yeah. Thanks, Kata. Yeah, I will be there.
Thank you very much, Amir. Actually, we after a decade of implementation of NEET, now we are talking about the impacts of NEET and what are the problems it has created. But Tamil Nadu, being a forerunner from the beginning, from the implementation in 2013 itself, is continuously talking about NEET, and it has formed a committee, AK Rajan committee, to study the impacts of NEET and how it has adversely affected marginalized and rural population, and it has published that report, and the report is available in public domain. It was published in 2021. There are a few points which I want to share about the AK Rajan committee's report, but we shall open up the session for question and answers. So the audience, whoever is having any questions to any of the speakers, you may please unmute yourself and ask questions directly. Thank you.
Kadan, Mohit has a comment in the chat box.
Yes, Mohit. I think it would be better if you unmute yourself and ask this question directly. No system. What I feel is no system is perfect, but there will be some pitfall in each and every system. Ultimately, we are supposed to choose something. I feel one of our speakers could enlighten you regarding this. So the Mohit's question is, as long as we have a MBBS seat much sought after 1:20, irrespective of the way we select, the rat race will continue. How can we moderate this aspiration? Speakers, please answer this question. Any of the speaker? Professor Anita Rampal?
Okay, yeah. So, one, I think that I totally agree. In fact, in some cases, it's even more because the chances of getting a qualifying is much less. There are studies which have been done which have seen that out of 550 towns and cities where NEET is held, only 225 have coaching, but they take 90% of the seats as compared to 10%, 11% in the 330 cities where there's no coaching. So one, of course, there's a correlation between the coaching availability and coaching centers. So it is to do with the format as we've discussed earlier. If we have a format like that, in which all you can do is memorize certain things, coach, drill, speed is what matters, then the format will always have this problem. We in education, in our faculty of education is also a professional course, so you can get a job after that. Lakhs of students would appear before it became online, and we had a three-level system. One was the larger system in which you could take a written exam, which is a kind of screening also. Then there is an interview when you come, but you also write something. I mean, and the larger was not MCQ. So there were also written longer answers. So we took it very seriously, the way we assessed it. Interview, and then before the interview, you write something over there. And then a lot of discussion in the interview about what your motivation is, what you've read, what your understanding is of the field, and what your how critically you look at it. So I think not having a one-shot MCQ is meaningless. So that should be out. NTA should be out because it's not academically at all made for making questions. We should have better questions like JEE tried. It's a different exam, but the teachers got involved and they tried to see how to make a better exam to assess children's understanding. That is one. But the second serious issue with NEET, that should be challenged immediately. The qualifying marks can be 12%, 15%. I mean, in your school exam, your qualifying marks are 35%, but NEET, every year it changes. So I saw in 2022, 12%. Out of 720, you can get 100 marks, 107 marks, and you're qualified. So obviously your rank is very low, but you bring in a lot of money. So all those seats are reserved for crores of rupees or lakhs of rupees, which you begin. That should not happen because they will close down. Those kinds of colleges, they may be very fancy private colleges, but qualifying marks should not be allowed to go so low because again, then it's meaningless. So I think we can work on a better system of assessing children, assessing their aptitude for that, and taking their school board exams along with that. And a decentralized system. I found a problem with a member of the Rajan. I read the Rajan committee report. We invited the Doctors Association person for a discussion in the Hindu. And I was shocked when he said that no, for the central seats, we should have a central standardized exam. I was surprised. He's saying that. He said only for states we should have the state board, but for central universities, central colleges, AIMS, etc., a central exam is more fair. And I think we have to challenge that understanding. People assume that a centralized exam is more fair. We have to do a large campaign with parents and students that this is not the case. So we have a decentralized exam at the state level, in a university, in a college, different colleges get together to make a good system of assessment, we need to do that.
Thank you, Professor Anita Rampal. You have explained Dr. Mohit's questions clearly. It was enlightening. I have a question for Dr. Anand Zakaria. I remember I have seen his presentation as a part of Parliamentary Standing Committee. His name is also mentioned in 92nd report of Parliamentary Standing Committee on Health and Family Welfare. So after that Parliamentary Standing Committee report, also subsequently regarding the performance of National Medical Commission and impacts of NEET and many other Parliamentary Standing Committee consultations have been held. So I want Dr. Anand Zakaria to share his experience and what he felt when he presented CMC Vellore, a minority institution which whose rights are compromised, whose admission process is self-admission process is taken away due to centralized counseling, due to implementation of NEET. What are the perspectives he has presented, and what are the flexibilities a minority institution or institution like MGMS, which is teaching medicine based on Gandhian philosophy, can expect in the era of NEET? I want these aspects to be clarified by Dr. Zakaria.
Yeah, so it was a while ago, Miran, so I cannot remember the exact arguments, but I think what we did advocate is that there needs to be more autonomy for institutions, not only on the matter of selection, but on the matter of the development of curricula for the college. There are long-standing institutions which have been different. For instance, the CMC Vellore, CMC Ludhiana, St. John's Medical College, and the Sevagram Medical College. Each of them had their own individual methods of selection, which included not just the written exam, but other aspects which I have already mentioned. And all these institutions had a way that after the MBBS course, the students had to work for a period of time doing rural service. So their curricula were designed appropriately for their social mission. So today we see that not just with the NEET, but also with the standardization of curricula across the country, the local autonomy of colleges is compromised. And therefore, what I had argued in the Parliamentary Committee report is that long-standing institutions need to be given more autonomy. And also the idea that high-performing institutions should be given more autonomy. So these were the arguments that I made, and also the importance of federalism, that the linkage of medical colleges with the state health system, which Tamil Nadu has made, that the role of education is actually to provide better health care. And therefore, the states have a significant role in the administration of medical education. So I think these were the arguments that I made. More autonomy. How do we think? We should not only see it as an issue of merit. We should see how equity in access to education and access to healthcare are preserved.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anand. Dr. Subodh has responded to Mohit's question. I will read it out. The aspirations for medical and engineering courses represent inequality in various opportunities. For those coming from the lower and lower middle class families who do not qualify for medical and engineering courses, the path is very tortuous and uncertain. We need streamlining of these opportunities. So there is one more question from Dr. Sabha. She has asked, how do you imagine these flawed education systems in the age of AI? Any thoughts? So speakers, please, one of you could answer this question. Dr. Sundar is not here. It's Professor Anita Rampal, Dr. Zakaria, Dr. Savitri, and Priyadarsh. Please answer. Dr. Subodh, would you like to volunteer and answer this question?
Could Dr. Saba explain the question a little bit more? I didn't quite understand.
Actually, she has posted it in the text box. Dr. Sabha, could you unmute yourself and ask the question directly? Okay.
Can I just comment on that?
Yeah, definitely.
See, I think AI is a very broad area in education, and we have to look at it more carefully. Our policy brought in a very problematic chapter in which they said assessments using AI and other digital disruptive technologies. That we have to resist because that's what's happening in all these coaching also and digital education. And I just want to point out that Scandinavian countries, Sweden, after 15 years, has gone back to paper textbooks in school from all their digital devices because they said we have done so much damage to the children, their brains, their ability to actually do complex thinking and reading and writing, that we've damaged a whole generation without knowing it. So I think that should be a no. We shouldn't be using a lot of digital devices in school education. But in higher education also, we should be critically telling students to check when they write something, use chat GPT and write it without using that, a critical assessment evaluation of see what is the difference. What difference do you find? So language learning models can give you only some kind of advantage. They cannot think. They cannot give you facts which don't exist. They are only scraping a lot of plagiarizing from a lot of printed material. So I think we should understand critically what AI is and then see how we can use it at what stage of education. Thank you.
There is a comment posted by some audience in YouTube. Richa has shared it with me. I shall read it out. It's a bit unclear, but I shall read it out. Should we look at factors in the health system itself as well? Doctors are an important part of the Medicare system and the profit aspect of the medical industry. However, maybe we also need to accept that the undue focus on doctors harms society and hurts the medicos themselves. So this is one comment. And another comment was this should be telecasted at the Jantar Mantar CJP protest request. And there is one more comment. Dr. Zafarullah of Bangladesh had tried to run a course that allowed health workers to become doctors after working in the field. This was discussed in 1982, probably at IISC and at St. John's, Bangalore. So this is something related to bridge course and allowing allied health workers and other health workers to practice medicine. This question was posted by Dr. Prabir Purkayast. So yeah, that's it. So if there are any more questions, audience, feel free to ask. And speakers, if you feel like you have left out some points, please come forward and speak. Okay. So I would like to add some things about this AK Rajan committee. Actually, regarding the regarding that AK Rajan committee, based on which Tamil Nadu government has passed the bill to seek exemption from need for the government allotted medical seats, I filed RTI to access the documents and background data based on which the committee's report was finalized. When I filed RTI, Directorate of Medical Education Chennai has denied to me, saying if we give this information, then that will harm the privileges of the assembly, so we cannot give. So I went to State Information Commission, and the State Information Commission of Tamil Nadu has ordered me to inspect all the documents from the Directorate of Medical Education regarding AK Rajan committee. I went there, I sat for one day and I inspected all the documents. What I observed was, it was not only my observation, based on my interaction with various government officials who were present there. It was in the opinion that many government departments, when this AK Rajan committee has written to various departments asking for data, they were not that much coming forward to provide data. In many places, data was missing. For example, one of my friend, when she has asked through RTI to the Directorate of Medical Education regarding Chennai, the Directorate of Medical Education, Tamil Nadu, the number of students who are applying for MBBS seats from rural area and the number of students who are applying for MBBS seats from urban area, even though it was asked in the MBBS BDS course application form by Directorate of Medical Education, they do not compile that data. That data was not readily available when the person has asked. And also AK Rajan committee, when it was drafting its report, has sent a communication, a letter to National Testing Agency asking for this number of applicants from rural area for NEET UG, number of applicants from urban area for NEET UG. NTA has not responded, and also AK Rajan NTA is conducting this NEET UG only after 2019. Before that, CBSE was conducting, but AK Rajan committee asked NTA directly to provide the data for 2018 and 2017 as well. So it was like they tried their level best to find out some things, what based on secondary data analysis, what they could put forward as a report. I think among the state governments, Tamil Nadu is the only state which has done the impact assessment study on NEET. I would also like to comment that even though Tamil Nadu has scrapped the state level entrance test from the year 2006 to 2016, there was no impact assessment study done by the Tamil Nadu government, what impact or what improvement it has made by scrapping the entrance test after 2006. This is also a concern. So as a educationist, as an academician, what we should emphasize is betterment of the education, better quality education for all the students, and better access to education for all the marginalized communities. So no system is perfect. We should actively find evidences to strengthen the system and improve things in a better way. So these are my comments. So earlier the question, Dr. Zafarullah of Bangladesh had tried to run a course. I read this comment. I read out this comment, but it was not asked by Prabir Purkayas. It was asked by Dr. Prabir Chatterjee from Medico's Friend Circle. I will read out his comment once again. Dr. Zafarullah of Bangladesh had tried to run a course that allowed health workers to become doctors after working in the field. This was discussed in 1982, probably at IISc and at St. John's, Bangalore. Yeah, so no more comments or questions we have received. So
I'd like to say two things, Miran.
yes.
The
Please go
first
ahead.
is that about the relationship of healthcare and NEET. And so I think that uh, through the 1980s and 90s, there was extensive privatization of medical education with the increasing of the fees in the college and capitation fees. So in 2011, when the Supreme Court asked for a single exam, the 2 points were there. That one was that to regulate the admission process, to curtail the fees. And I think this point has to be kept in mind, that it's in the extensive privatization and high fees, that was one factor actually in this having a common entrance exam. The second point I want to say is about innovations like were done in Bangladesh. Today, with the NMC and the standardization of education and NEET, the possibility of innovations of locally relevant education uh, has become extremely difficult. So an experiment like that, which was done in Bangladesh today, is almost impossible. In fact, it's almost impossible to conceive of a new form of education like, say, an MGMS today, given all the rules. So I think that this is a point that has to be understood, that we have to actually advocate for more autonomy for different forms of education. So I think this is a point I want to say.
Thank you, Anand. We are almost at the end of this session. But there is a question by speaker Dr. Savitri herself. She has asked what is the alternative. So if any of the speakers would be able to comment on it, please feel free. And I also, because among the audience, I could see only two medical teachers. One is Dr. Anand Zakaria, one is Dr. Subodh Sengupta, who is in the audience. Mike, I have a question. What are the changes as a teacher you are seeing in MJMS or in CMC Vellore after implementation of NEET? So it would be better if Dr. Subodh Gupta could answer it. Thank you.
हेलो मैं बिल्कुल ये बताना थोड़ा मुश्किल है कि नीट के बाद एग्जैक्टली कैसे चेंज आए हैं, क्योंकि और स्पेशली सेवाग्राम में रहते हुए ये मुझे थोड़ा मुश्किल है, क्योंकि सेवाग्राम में पहले का एग्जाम जो एंट्रेंस सिस्टम था वो अलग था। तो बाकी कॉलेजेस में किस ढंग के स्टूडेंट जाते थे और उसमें क्या बदलाव आया, ये यहाँ से बताना मुश्किल है। लेकिन मैं I would like to emphasize on one point again, which Dr. Anand was telling, that we require more autonomy. And a country so large as India having one syllabus, and if we want to do postings differently or curriculum differently, there is no flexibility. That is not a good thing. If we think, say, developed country, it will be a very small country, but every university will have a freedom to decide the curriculum, the approach for teaching, and that kind of environment will help us innovate in this area. So we understand there could be problems with flexibility, so some minimum requirement, but flexibility, and within that we should define flexibilities as well, so that innovations are possible. At least good number of institutes should be given opportunity to innovate in medical education. Otherwise, how will come to how we will be able to reform or experiment with new methods in medical education or any types of education if you fix everything and every institution has to do it in only a certain way. So I think this is my major one thing that I wanted to share. I'm sorry that I'm not responding to exact question from you, Kader, because my approach also is slightly different, where we try to see positives in the students, and I still feel that the students we have are good. There are और वो जो एनालिसिस एक हमें करके कि लाइक वो थोड़ी सी कम्प्लेक्स एनालिसिस होगी कि कैसे ये डिफर कर रहा है ओवरऑल। एक जो डॉक्टर आनंद ने शुरू में बात की थी कि ओवरऑल एक थिंकिंग का जो अप्रोच है वो चेंज होता जा रहा है, और लॉजिकल रैशनल थिंकिंग वो चेंज होता जा रहा है। यदि और ये पूरे एजुकेशन में आई थिंक दिस वाज emphasized adequately by Dr. Anand and Dr. Anita as well. So that I would like to say.
Thank you, Dr. Subodh. There is one hand raised up, Xiaomi 22120. I'm not able to identify yourself. Please unmute and ask the question. Meanwhile, I would like to read out a comment posted by Dr. K.R. Anthony. Dr. Subodh's density curve data should be submitted to the court as evidence against NTA. Dr. K.R. Anthony is a pediatrician, and he was also a teacher and public health researcher based in Kerala. He is active in Medico's friend circle also. There are two hands raised up. One is Xiaomi 22120. Please unmute and ask. Please ask your question very briefly. After you, Dr. Abhay Shukla's hand is also raised.
Hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Okay. I am A.G. Rajmohan, speaking from Anantapur, Andhra Pradesh. I am a state committee member of Prajarogya Vedika. It's a state unit of the All India People Science Network. My suggestion and clarity is that we have discussed a good subject, but what is our suggestion? What is the alternate we propose? That is one thing which is all the more important. And another thing, my suggestion is that there must be a movement to take education back to state list instead of keeping it in concurrent list. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think JSA's position paper is already shared by Dr. Abhay Shukla. It has already answered two of your queries. What our position is right now, we are demanding a position paper or what the NEET has done after its implementation over a decade, whether it has addressed the actual problems or not. That analysis has to be done. That is one aspect. And second thing is JSA statement itself is clearly stating that education is in concurrent list, and health being a state subject. Medical education, in terms of medical education, more rights should be given, more flexibility should be given to state governments to decide within this constitutional framework. So since these are already in public domain as a JSA statement, JSA Secretariat has already once again shared it in the chat box. You please read it out once, and I invite Dr. Abhay Shukla to talk.
Yeah, so thanks to all the speakers and everybody who asked questions. And of course, the next point which comes forth is, what do we do in this situation collectively as Jan Swasthya Abhiyan and the larger health and social movement? So partly, Kadir, you have mentioned about this, but I've already uploaded the JSA position paper. And so we are essentially demanding three things. So first of all, the problem is centralization, commercialization, and corruption. All three are interlinked, and the three actually are causing and leading to each other. And the demand that we have raised is of a review, reform, and complete restructuring of the medical admission system. And so obviously there is a need for a major national level review, and hopefully the current movement, including I was hoping somebody from the CJP might continue, but of course probably they had to drop out. But we should continue to expand this dialogue. And it's very clear that there are multiple organizations, individuals, movements, networks which are quite dissatisfied with NEET. So we need to bringing these together in a common kind of discourse or dialogue is probably also part of the process which JSA has initiated along with others. So demanding a major review and bringing all this evidence and widely publicizing it. And based on this review, we probably need to articulate a coherent reform agenda where decentralization, state autonomy is central. And linked with that, of course, is also revisiting the curriculum, the manner in which the exam is conducted, the counseling processes in PG NEET, and so many other points which have already come up in the discussion. So I think many of these points are already briefly articulated in the JSA position paper. So I think let us continue this, expanding this dialogue and developing a wider movement across the country, including the CJP, where so many young people are involved both physically and also through social media, to raise the demand not only for the suspension, for the resignation of the education minister, but also for a total review and overhaul of the entire medical admission system and the NEET process. So I think this should be our common demand, and our we should expand the movement, keeping this in view as our objective.
Please add closing down of NTA. Please add that. That's critical for all these things that is happening. So it's not just NEET.
Yeah.
But
No, actually, NTA was announced as in the budget of 2017 or 2018 that there will be a national level testing agency to conduct all the entrance tests. Based on that only, in 2019 NTA was formed, and from 2018 it was formed, and 2019 onwards it's conducting NEET along with other entrance tests.
But Kader, we have been opposing it before it was set up, even when it was announced, because we knew that all this is only for the money that's going to go away. This is what they did, no accountability, but also it has no credibility. Just centralization with multiple choice is terrible for all exams, all entrance exams, net exams, everything. We can see the impact. So please don't leave that out of your demands.
Yeah, you have rightly said, Professor Anita Rampal. We shall try to include those in our position papers and statements. We are already well beyond our scheduled webinar time, and almost we have read out all the questions and comments from the audience. So I think it's time to close down this webinar. This is only closure of this webinar, but as JSA has put up its position paper, we look forward to engage similar discussions in future and take up this work as a part of advocacy and policy reformation through official channels. On behalf of JSA, I would like to state that JSA will keep engaging with the issue of NEET and concerns on quality of medical education alongside all fellow travelers such as Medicos Friend Circle and All India People Science Network. I thank you very much everyone for attending this webinar on a Sunday by spending and contributing your valuable time. It means a lot to us. Thank you very much. We shall keep connected with you through email. We will share position statements and other aspects of JSA on these aspects. Thank you very much for all of you. We shall close down this session. Thanks.
Tyler, I'll end the meeting. Huh?